make me a co-host, you do? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So good morning, Helena. And once again, thank you for agreeing to speak with me. I know we've had a trial run before this that technology let me down. So at Cork Mental Health, we've decided to do these series of short Zoom interviews with various professionals working in specifically the mental health area that people can click into and get some tips or guidance or advice on mental health. So I suppose before we start, if you just, for people who don't know you, want to introduce yourself and where you work.
Thanks, Martina. First of all, I'm Cork Mental Health for asking me to be part of this initiative, which I think is really needed and highly valuable. So my name is Helena Cogan, and I'm one of about 20 resource officers for suicide prevention who work throughout the Republic of Ireland with the National Office for Suicide Prevention. And I suppose we work really under the kind of the national strategy of Connecting for Life, which really has two aims of reducing incidence of suicide and reducing incidence of presentations of self-harm. So part of the kind of the initiative then, I suppose, is to deliver training, number one, but also work collaboratively with different community groups and partners, and Cork Mental Health is thankfully one of these partners. So that's it. So my remit is across Cork and Kerry. And so I'm very much happy to be here.
As we are delighted to have you. I suppose we'll just get straight to it, Helena, because people, I'm sure, are clicking in because they want those tips, guidance or advice. Obviously, globally, everybody, I think it's fair to say, is struggling with what's going on, you know, the lockdowns, restrictions, COVID, etc. So what are the little things, you know, the daily little things that people can and should be doing to look after and maintain their mental health right now?
Yeah, I think it's a very valuable conversation, Martina, and I think you're right. I think all over the world globally, because of the fallout of COVID, there's obviously the physical and medical fallout, but there's also the emotional one, where life for us, all of us have been affected by COVID and the effects of it from their varying degrees. So I suppose what we're going to look at shortly, I created a few slides because I think it's easier if I talk over a bit of visual, which I'll start sharing now, are little things that we can do throughout the day to kind of have control in the things that we can have control of in circumstances where there's a bit of uncertainty about what's going on. So if we just look at it here, if I just share this with you.
Great.
So is this sharing? Oh, it is. Is it sharing?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Great. Okay. I'll just move us out of the way here so I can see it properly. So looking at our own kind of self-care needs, the Little Things campaign is the campaign that the National Office for Suicide Prevention and the Mental Health Services in Ireland kind of started about maybe over 2 years ago. Very evidence-based, very well researched, but really it looks at the fundamentals and all of the things that we can do every day. Now I've added other bits and pieces onto it that we'll come to. But the importance, for example, of the more you move, the better your mood. And that looks at the importance of moving our body to get the kind of the endorphins released from our brain, the kind of the feel good factor, and getting our kind of our body moving, the blood pumping around us. And that changes our mood, it changes our state. The importance of getting 8 hours sleep. That's so important because while our bodies might seem to be asleep and resting, they are actually repairing when we're asleep. And our minds and emotions are repairing as well. Lending an ear and lending a hand, the importance of connection with people who truly care about us, who we trust and really have our back, and really just being there for each other and listening to whatever's going on. That leads to the next one, for example, if problems feel smaller when you share them, the importance of getting us to talk out rather than to act out and instead of keeping it all inside. And then adding friends to our team. You know, we can have kind of tea meetings and coffee mornings over Zoom or on the phone, you know, or at social distancing. We can still do all of that and have a good chat, you know. And it's important about the content of that conversation, that it's healthy, that it's positive, and it's looking at the things that we are grateful for example. Mm-hmm. And then drink less and great nights become good mornings. The importance of being aware of our relationship with alcohol and how much we drink. You know, alcohol is okay in moderation. It's like everything else, you know. So these are just kind of some things that we can kind of do.
Great.
So these are those in kind of another format, just reiterating it. And the additional ones of here are boosting your mood with healthy food, the importance of eating well, having a breakfast, lunch and dinner, and reducing our intake of sugars, kind of refined sugars that really kind of inflame our system, like the sweets, the crisps, the kind of the fizzy drinks. They're not really a contribution to our body. We get a kind of a sugar boost high off them, but really they're not really healthy for us and for our mental health and well-being. And if the fourth one there, if a friend seems distant, catch up with them. Like, you know, if we're really concerned about someone, they're kind of withdrawn, they're not engaging as much, you are noticing a change in them. It's important that you or someone close to them checks in with them and has a chat with them and see what's going on for them. Is there anything that they need? And oftentimes people just need to talk and just to share what's going on with them. And as I said, problems feel smaller when we share them. And doing the last one there, doing things with others or strength in numbers. This kind of talks to not isolating, but doing things with others and sharing things. And, you know, that's hugely important. You could have a virtual book club, for example, you know. I know a lot of people are grateful for the fact that they can attend mass and church online, which is crucially important for people of faith, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Really important. And so these are kind of things that I kind of put together that kind of might help us day to day. You know, if someone says, look after yourself now or take care of yourself, but what does that actually mean? If someone said to you, Martina, now take care of yourself, look after yourself. Well, part of that could be having a structure to your day, not to be kind of going into the day aimlessly, but having a structure, like getting up, for example, before 8:30 and getting dressed. Not just kind of lounging around in your nightwear, like, you know, in your pajamas or your house coat, but actually getting dressed. So you're kind of saying to the day and saying to your body, we're getting ready for the day. Having a good, healthy breakfast and placing your focus on what you can control. You know, like I can control making sure my environment is clean and tidy. We're not looking for show houses in any way, shape, or form. My house is not a show house, I can show you. But it's important that your environment around you is clean and is tidy and that you feel kind of supported and well when you're there. Getting creative, you could paint, you could draw, you could, you know, work with anything, you know, in the garden even, for example. Moving your body, as I said earlier, even the 20-minute walk in within the 5 minutes, like 5 kilometer walking distance at the moment, or moving. As I said, making your environment is make sure your environment is clean and tidy. Getting some fresh air, you know, very important. Very important to stay hydrated and get enough water into your body. That, you know, at least a minimum, that's 2 liters a day, for example. That's 4 small bottles of water. Be very important. As I said, reduce your sugar intake. Listen to relaxing music or music that makes you feel good. Read a good book, you know. Breathe and get some quiet time for yourself. And, you know, if you kind of feel stressed or you feel anxious, you can breathe in. You can, as you're breathing in, you can count to 1, 2, 3, 4. You breathe in through your nose and then you breathe out for 8. 1 through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you did 6 of those in and out, that just calms down your system. And while it's important to stay informed about what's going on, I would invite you to go on a news diet. For example, I only listen to the news at 5:30 each day. That's it. I don't listen other than that. I have healthy meals, you know, and have a good bedtime before 11 p.m. So that's something possibly that you could consider doing to look after yourself. One thing that's coming up that the HSE, it's free. This is on the 8th of March. It's a free 6-week stress control. And all you need is time and a computer. And you log on to stresscontrol.ie now. It's going on, it's kind of rolling all the time since COVID has happened. But the next one that's happening is on the 8th of March. So people can log on to that.
Brilliant.
And that's very good. I did it myself. It's excellent.
Excellent.
And these are just some information on supports. The Samaritans are there for us, 24/7 free service to provide emotional support for any issue without judgment. And there's the website there, or you can email them. Yourmentalhealth.ie is a great website. Contact your own GP if you feel you're really getting anxious, or else talk to someone you trust, a friend, a family member, a colleague, a neighbor, but someone you trust who knows, who has your back and truly cares for you. The important thing is to stay connected. Stay connected with those around you and use the support services. Now, I'm calling you Pauline there. That was for someone else there now, Martina, sorry. But
okay.
I know all this, or the majority of the information is going to be available on Cork Mental Health his webpage. So all of that information that I've gone through is there for you.
That's brilliant.
And they're just kind of, again, reminding eating well, doing things, moving your body, having small treats, getting active, staying out in nature. Essentially, that really would be what I would advise or what I would talk about. Yeah.
Helena, I can't thank you enough. That is a wealth of information that people can watch back. And the fact that you went to the trouble of doing the slides, thanks very much. It's going to be much easier for people to jot down notes even, or, you know, screenshot the screen. So on behalf of everybody in Cork Mental Health and everybody who's going to be watching this, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to do this morning.
You're most welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Martina.